All right, welcome to Mommy and Me All Grown Up. I'm Britt, and this is
I'm Bonnie.
my mom. And we have been thinking about doing this podcast for quite some time, but it didn't really come into fruition until about a few nights ago. I came back around like 3 in the morning and kind of just pissed off about a certain thing that happened. And we were just like talking and giving each other's opinions on certain things. And I was like, wait a minute, this should be in a podcast because right now we're giving great advice, great opinions. Meanwhile, we're like, she's half awake. I'm pissed off. I'm like upset about something. And like, we should let people know how we feel about our opinions on various topics. And the next morning, I'm like, let's do this. And I texted the guy that owns the podcast place. And here we are. Yeah, so class is in session. I just have a first question. Since I'm 22 and you're older and you are wiser.
We don't have to say my age.
Yeah, and you've been through a lot more than I have. If you can give your 20-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Looking back, I can turn it around. Actually, to be honest, there's nothing really I would change. I have to be honest.
No, but like advice. Nothing you would
Advice.
change.
I mean, for you right now, I would just say you're young, you're 22, you have your whole life ahead of you. When it comes to guys, just keep dating, being selective. Don't just pick anyone. You have all the time in the world. Just enjoy your 20s. Go out, be seen, and eventually when the right time comes for a guy, it'll happen. I mean, I didn't, Rich, I know she calls my husband, her dad, Rich.
And I say Bonnie. I don't say
so
mom.
she's never really called me, maybe when she was a baby, mommy, but she calls
up
me
until 5 years
Bonnie.
old.
So I would just that advice. There's no rush. I mean, I don't need, eventually, obviously, we're going to want little babies.
Yeah.
Not yet. Just enjoy. I didn't get married until I was 30 and Rich was 36. So, and I waited for the right one. And we just got it all out of our system in our 20s. Like Rich and I have no regrets. We had fun in our 20s, both of us. And then we were both ready to settle down. So I would say that.
I love that. I agree with a lot of that. But however, I know that we disagree on a lot of things.
We do.
So briefly, for this podcast going forward, we want to just make it clear that we are very similar, of course, because, I come from my mom. But we are also very different and have a lot of different opinions. Our personalities are very different. If you can kind of touch upon that, I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Would you want me to mention our similarities?
Yeah,
first?
start with similarities.
So I would say a lot of Brit is definitely in me. When I was her age, I was always the last to get ready. She takes so long to get ready when she has to be somewhere and she's always late. I was always late too.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm not anymore, but and I love that too because she takes time making herself beautiful. And why not? I mean, I was also at her age very into my hair and my products and my mom used to make fun of me when I was in the shower. She'd say, "Oh, Bonnie, this is how she takes a shower like this." So I think that is great. I'm not like that now. I get ready quick, but we are alike in that way as far as taking our time getting ready.
We also are similar in the fact that we do take pride in taking care in how we look. And when we go out of the house, we always, make sure we don't look unkept.
Exactly.
And we, follow up with like, my nails aren't done right now, but let's get our nails done. We do our
and
hair.
toes
We
and
always have makeup done.
You could go out of the house without makeup.
And I do.
I don't.
Okay.
I have to put sunglasses on, but I cannot leave the house without wearing at least mascara. I have to have my mascara on.
I think that's a good Yeah, I think that's important. You don't want to just go out of the house looking like you just woke up.
Because there is that famous saying that we always say that I got from my mom. You never know who you're going to bump into.
Yeah,
you got to always look your best.
Especially where we live. We know everyone. I grew up here and you've been here for a while. So you could run into someone like every single day you walk out of the house.
Right. And I think that's how we're alike in those ways as far as how we're different.
Yeah.
So I am a neat freak. Can you vouch for that?
Extremely neat.
So
freak.
I guess I have that like obsessive personality, that A-type. Everything has to be, just so. I mean, obviously I have my little messy drawers that no one can see.
Right. But what I think it is that I don't even I'm not aware of it. Like you might see something that's dirty and messy. My mind doesn't even look at that as messy or dirty. Not dirty, but just unorganized. Like I don't even realize it half the time too.
Right. And you think it's fine. Like I'm the type, I have to make my bed every morning where you don't.
Yeah, but I kind of know what you mean. Like I left today with it not being made, and I'm like, this looks a little like it's sloppy and not kept well, or not doesn't give a good vibe.
But you always say, I don't care. I'll just
I say that, but then when I left after coming here, I was like, I didn't give the best impression if someone was gonna walk in there, or just it just looks like a little gross too.
So as far as being neat versus messy, I would say
yeah.
She's a little messy, unorganized, but you say you know where everything is.
I do. It's like unorganized or disorganized chaos.
Exactly. So we're different in that respect.
Yeah, but I think I do take a lot of your traits. So we're very talkative. We have a lot of opinions. We are not. I mean, you said you were shy when you were my age, but I think we're both very outspoken. We're not
You're
shy.
more outgoing than I was at that age. I was still, I think, quieter than you. You have a lot more confidence and are more outspoken. And it took me a while in my 20s to get outspoken and come out of my shell.
And do you think that's because of how I was raised and brought up? I noticed with you and Rich that whenever you guys were having a conversation or doing something, you always kind of included Jet and I into it and always talked to us and told us about it and didn't dish us off. You kind of involved us in the situation. And I think you explained things and didn't just oh, it's not for you to hear or not for you to see. So I think that made me more curious and more outspoken. And I think that's a great thing. And I know we probably can go on and on about motherhood and raising. Obviously, I don't know because I don't have kids, but just from hearing other people and seeing how I was raised, I think there was a lot of things that you did with Rich that kind of helped me get where I am today. Obviously, I'm still growing and evolving, but I think there's certain things that are lacking lately, and maybe that's why there are a lot of issues in the world because people are not being raised properly too. And it has nothing to do with, how much money you have or how you have this and that. It's more just the values that are really put forth when you are really young too.
Right, which brings us probably to talking about family, because just so we could bring up just a little bit background. Yeah. So I met Rich, your dad. So we've been married. I met him years ago. We're married 26 years. And we have a son, Jet, who's going to be 25 next month, who's doing great, working for MLB, his dream, his passion.
Jersey,
He's in New Jersey. And so, I think we're a very close family, wouldn't you say? And I agree with you. We really didn't hide many things through the years. We're pretty much an open book family. And
I feel like even if you tried, I always picked up on it and I always got it out of you. Right. It's very hard for you to keep things.
Right.
Even for me, I think it's good that we are an open book because you never want to hold things in. I always feel worse if I just, I'm not telling you something. And I think it also helps with getting advice and your opinion on something too. Why hold it from you? You probably have a better idea than I do. So it's better to share.
Rich and I were also we wanted to make sure that, had a great childhood. We live in a community and you could.
Oh, I could talk about that.
Talk about how great our community was, that we've been there I moved in there when you were pregnant.
Right. When you were pregnant.
When I was pregnant, 23 years. And if you want to talk about how great it was to live in our community and what was growing up in our community like for you as a young child?
So I honestly feel really bad for the generation growing up now. So when I was growing up, we had, technology. There was iPads and, flip phones, but it wasn't as chronic as it is now. When you go to a restaurant, you see the mom put the iPhone in the kid's hand or the iPad in the hand. But when I grew up with my brother, we were outside every single day after school. And it is such a blessing to look back on that now. It was a social time. It was a time to release stress. It was a time to find your passion. I became an athlete probably because of that neighborhood. And I feel like I was able to form relationships and learn how to operate with other people that are different than me and how to problem solve because, this kid got upset and you had to work it out. So it really opened up an athlete in me and a different side of me and a hungry, aggressive, person to want to be passionate about certain things.
And what was nice about our neighborhood, they were all different age group The kids were all, but everyone didn't look at the age. That everyone wanted to
No.
play with each other.
We were literally all different backgrounds from all different walks of
all
life
different.
too. Yeah.
Even all the moms and dads, we were all so different, but like we were different, but one, because we had that commonality of just wanting to be with our kids. And I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yes. Yeah.
I felt like I was definitely lucky that I was able to be around for both you and Jet.
Yeah.
All through. I know you always said you wanted me to work.
Well, okay. When I was, I think in high school, maybe middle school, because like I had a lot of friends, like all the moms worked. And I was like, wait, why does, like, obviously she worked. Like she wrote a book.
I had a career
started
before.
and she was a teacher and she did various things. But when I would go to my friend's place or, talk to friends, like I always heard their mom was working, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why doesn't my mom do that? But now, as I've gone older, I'm like, okay, I think that was probably a great thing. You were around. You were able to come to like dance recitals. You were able to come to different sporting activities. And you were always available.
As well as Rich was.
Yeah, he was too.
Always available.
But I think it really, like, it gave like it instilled a lot in me to, like, I didn't feel like there was a void to be filled through other vices because I felt like I always had my mom to show up. And even I remember like in elementary school, this is so funny, I was like literally like separation anxiety. Like I didn't even want to like you to leave me and drop me off at school, which was so funny. Like we were so attached in that sense. I remember when you would go away, I was like, no, I like didn't want you leave. Yeah. I want you to leave. So I always had like this like bond, and I think it's something that you cannot like find anywhere else. There's nothing like a mom and daughter bond. Yeah. And to be raised during the times of when you are morphing into yourself and have someone to guide you along the way with your mom and dad is something very important and something that a lot of kids unfortunately
what was that?
The light. Unfortunately don't have, and luckily I do have that backbone, so I think that has really embodied me to a great in my own way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we did a pretty good job.
So far, I mean, I have like some problems, but
yeah, but I think also part of it, Rich and I, we agree on a lot. We do have our disagreements, but pretty much raising you, we're a good team.
Yeah. You guys are different too.
We're very different. Rich and I are very different, yet we're alike. So we definitely complement. It worked. Whatever we've been doing, it works for us.
And it's funny, I'm actually very similar to my dad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like a very similar mentality on how we look at life and how we, like I think how you and Jet are, my brother, like you guys are very meticulous. You guys are very ducks in a line, orderly fashion mentality.
Yes, Jet is like that.
My dad and I, we're messy. We think a little bit outside the box more.
Right.
We have a more sarcastic...
Break the rules.
Right. Like, we're not a rule follower.
Not a rule follower.
No, we kind of just...
I am.
Beat to our own drum. We don't care. We are, like, kind of different how most people operate, I would say.
Right. You're definitely a lot in him in that respect.
Yes, we are very different.
I learned a lot from him, too, definitely.
Yeah, he has helped a lot. And I think also, which we could touch on, like, on another day, that having a father in your, like, growing up, childhood is very important too, because I think that shapes a lot of like, when it comes to guys and dating and just all that stuff. I think obviously the mom can only do so much because you have one-sided perspective.
Been a big part of that.
Yeah, he definitely knows everything.
Hands-on dad, which not many dads, you can say that about a lot of dads.
And then I think that he also sparked a lot in me for like sports and getting into fitness and health. Obviously, you're into health as well, but he just, got me into more of the weightlifting and different sports that are not considered like feminine, I would say. Like I did basketball, I did everything. I've done track. I feel like I've done everything. So I think in that aspect, that was awesome too.
Yes. So we touched a little bit about who we are.
Like family dynamic. Okay.
Talk about college a little bit.
So
where you're at.
I just graduated from the University of Tampa. I studied communication and media studies. So a lot of like social media background, marketing. I've been doing social media for about like 4 years, I would say. And that has really changed my life. Before, I was very anti-social media, didn't post, didn't want my name out there. But one day it blew up, and then here we are. I feel like it's kind of opened up my shell, opened up a lot of opportunities. And I moved back home, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do next. I mean, everyone thinks it's like easier said than done. Oh, you have a great social media platform, utilize
following.
it. And of
Right.
course, I'm trying to. And I don't know. And I'm kind of the type of person to take it one day at a time and not just settle for anything, too.
Right, exactly. And we're supportive. And, as much as I want her to, get out there and get her career, I feel like you have a career
Yeah.
already because you built up your social media. And it's a great thing, and I don't want you to lose that. So I think it's something that to grow upon,
Yeah.
and keep it going.
Right. I agree.
And I know you're not the type to sit at a 9-to-5
No.
desk job.
No.
You need to be out there. You're social,
Yeah.
and I think something can come of.
Right. And then another thing to add, you and Rich are both very entrepreneurial. My dad owns a company with his brother, his dad's involved, and you started your own company too. You also had a blog too, which is funny.
I did, yeah.
You wrote a book. So I think seeing all that makes me want to try and create something and strive to be very entrepreneurial as well. So we're working on it,
Right,
and gonna figure it out.
And we know there's so many people out
So
there
many podcasts
that already
ready.
have podcasts, but we feel like we have a lot to say, and we have a lot of, different opinions. And I
Yeah.
know everyone does, but we like to talk, and, we're just who we are. And, and one thing I do want to add with the growing up part with the family, like Rich and I were always firm believers. Obviously, we want you to definitely be successful and make money and as you get older, but we always said we want you to be passionate about what
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
for a living. Like, for example, like how Jet, knew he wanted to be in sports and baseball, and he followed his dream where he's at now. And we always say the money will come, but just keep doing which he waited to do. And that's what he's
Yep.
doing, what he loves.
Right.
And that's what we want you to do. We don't want you to just be somewhere where you're miserable.
Of course.
So we were always a firm believer in being passionate about what you're going to be doing in life, of course. And, that's why, I was in education and I was a teacher for many years, and then it worked out well for me because then I brought you up, and then I based my book actually, on you and Jet when you were babies. And I was able to have my live people for years to work with, as an educator.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay. I'm sure people want to know like your perspective on like me growing up as a child. I portray myself a certain way online and my friends know me a certain way, but how was I growing up as a child, and how do you look at me now too?
So when you were like really little, we did drag you around a lot. For Jet was very active in his golfing and his sports.
Yeah.
And you were, younger. So you did go with the flow, like wherever we went with Jet, you went with us, and we just took you around and you went with the flow. But you did, like to do your own thing, and you were definitely outspoken. Like I said, you were not a rule follower. A lot of times you didn't listen. A lot of times I know I had to yell, and I know you always said you hated when I would yell. We used to fight, as
like
much
it was like sisterly.
Right, because we didn't agree on a lot of things.
No. And I'm very set in my way. You are too.
And I'm set in my ways. So. You definitely had a mind of your own. You definitely did not follow the rules. And I think as you got older, but then I kind of like that about you because I was a rule follower, and I was always like listen to everything. And even with my parents, like I had to like be a certain way, and my parents are the best parents, but like if I got out of line, they would freak out where that you were your own person, and it's brought you to where you are today.
Yeah.
So I envy that because I was not like that, and I think that's a great trait that you have.
Yeah, perfect. I think what we should do, and I think most people would love to hear more on your opinions, my opinions on dating. I've heard countless times from my friends that they want to hear more on your perspective on dating. I think it's a good way to launch it. Talk about dating culture, talk about guys, girls, blah, blah, blah. And I guess kind of take it from there.
So as far as like my opinion on dating when you're in your 20s?
Yeah, I would say so right now. I think I've been going through a phase where I'm like really dating a lot of different people and kind of just figuring out as I go. And I'm learning a lot and learning what to do and what not to do. And I think there's a lot of like opinions on this point in your life. And I think having a mother's perspective is so cool and so awesome to hear. And if other girls my age could listen, like let's say they're not as close with their moms and they can't really ask them. So I think a lot of girls would love to hear your opinions, and I think she gives great advice. Obviously, I'm biased.
I try.
But I think the way you raised me to operate with guys has been great. I think the little tidbits and advice has been good.
So what do you think a lot of girls would want to know as far as like what's the big thing now with your girls your age? Like, are they in a rush to get married? Do they just want to date? Like, what is their current issues with guys in your age group?
I know a lot of girls like, oh, all guys are bad, all guys are this and that. Generalize, because I don't think that's true. But a lot of girls don't think guys are putting in the work, the effort, the taking the initiation to cater and court a girl as much as it was back then. I think a lot of guys think they could just flash their money, their watches, their cars, and a girl will fall in love with them.
Some girls will
that. Right, of course. But I think a lot of girls are looking for more. What they are usually looking for is to feel safe and to feel nurtured and to feel like their nervous system is regulated. Because if you're with someone that kind of makes you feel anxious and insecure and uncomfortable, that's not a person for you, period.
Right.
But I think from the discourse I hear, like online, obviously this is just people from online, that they aren't like, it's hard to find people these days and it's a struggle. And I mean, that's just like from people online. For me, I don't know. I can't really generalize everything. I'm kind of just going through the motions still. So, yeah.
No, I mean, I would just say keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you're going out, you're going to clubs, you're going to bars, you're going to networking events.
Yeah.
You're meeting so many different people. I think that's great. And just enjoy and have fun. And when I was your age, I never felt pressured to like get married so quick. Like I
think a lot of girls do.
Whenever it happens, it happens. And my parents never pressured me. And, a lot of my friends were getting married in their early 20s, mid 20s. And I could say I was probably one of the last ones, but it never bothered me. And I don't want it to ever bother you, because when it's right, it's right. And don't ever rush into anything. And it's true. You want to make sure when you are dating, I mean, there's red flags that will stand out right away.
Yep.
And you get rid of that guy right away, because I always instilled in you to have very high standards, good values, and you want to make sure. And you do want to be courted. You want a guy that's a gentleman. And yes, it may sound old fashioned, but it's nice when a guy opens up the door for you, or if he does have a card if he wants to pick you up to go out, great. If you meet him somewhere out, yeah. Do I think he should walk you to your car?
Yeah, you should.
Yes. So those are little tidbits of things that, as my daughter and as a girl, as a woman, you want to look for those little things, and you want it to be known right up front.
Of course.
It's okay to be like that, because that's what you deserve.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what you're doing, enjoy, and don't rush into anything. And I always felt like when it happens, it happens. And if something didn't work out, there was a reason. Mm-hmm. And look, I waited for many years and I got a great guy, and it was all worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I have to say. But if you do find someone young and it works out, then that's wonderful too. So I don't say, of course, if you're like 21, 22 and find someone for your life partner and that's the person, then by all means, as long as it's right for you, great.
Okay.
Yes.
So I agree with all that. I think it's very important to have high standards and to not settle for anyone, because it's just, not the best idea.
We're too good. You're
very
too good
for that.
See, that's another thing. As a parent, I instilled, I hope I did, a lot of confidence. We were always building confidence in both of our kids.
And and if you do find someone in the beginning phase, like, don't put all your cards into that one person and forget about like your routine, your habits. Like, you want to embed them into your lifestyle, not let them take over your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Because let's say this person's only in your life for a couple months, like, you just wasted all that time.
Exactly.
And you could have been focusing on yourself or your career, your health and fitness.
Oh, that's the other thing. Sorry. My mom always said to me, when I was your age, your career comes first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That comes first. You want to make sure you're making money and have a successful career before you settle down, which I did. I was
Right.
a teacher.
But
I
I
was an
think it's
educator.
kind of changed a lot. A lot of girls are looking just for a partner and to get married, have kids, and not really work, and they just want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to know your thoughts on that. I'll give mine really quickly. So obviously, like I said, it was great having you be around and, be there for me and Jet. But I'll be honest, I don't think I would be fulfilled fully as a woman if I'm raising kids but do not have any purpose or passion that's driving me forward. Because obviously your kids are going to grow up one day and they're going to move out of the house. And then what?
Right.
Your whole thing was raising the kids, and obviously that's wonderful, but I think you should have both. I think it's important to have a career that drives you to be your best and to have passion involved with it. And also, I think it shows a lot to your kids too that you're not just a stay-at-home mom. You're more than
True.
that too. So
No, I see definitely what
Yeah.
you're saying. That's why when I was your age, at the time, my mom said to me, she's the one that
I
suggested.
love also her mom and you. They both have like a lot of quotes and sayings.
Yeah,
Love
a
that.
lot of quotes
Yeah.
from my mom
It's good. It's a lot of
that
like
I
wisdom.
passed down to my kids.
Yeah.
But she always said to me, she had suggested I go into education as a teacher. She thought it was a great thing back then for a mom who's going to have kids, because then I was having my summers off. And once you have your degree in teaching and your kids get older, go back to it. I mean, I never went back into the classroom, but I think I'll I have my master's, I have my experience. I didn't go back into the classroom, but I wrote a book, and for a short time I had a website, and I have a little Instagram. And so I'll never lose that. I think through all the years, I always tried to keep up with something so I can say
you
it's
always
my
were doing
own.
something.
I was always doing
Yeah.
something in education, or maybe it was just selling something. Like I was involved in skincare because I love skincare. I always made sure I was doing, but it was on my terms.
Right. Yeah.
I never left the house to go to an office to not be around. I was doing stuff in the home for myself, but still yet I was around.
Correct.
So that is important you do want to make a name for yourself too, because you need to do that for yourself
I feel like
too.
it just makes you feel more complete.
Yes,
rather than
I agree.
I'm here for my husband and my kids and that's
just make
it.
dinner.
I know.
And just make lunches.
To be honest,
yes.
that's like my worst fear is to just be that. Like I think I'm way more than that.
Of course. And that's,
I also don't want to rely on a man for money.
Well, that's the other thing. You
scary.
Don't want
No.
Exactly.
Because they could drop you in a second.
You do want to make sure you have something of your own so you don't have to rely on them. So I always felt like, obviously I did rely on Rich, but I also had things to fall back on because I am educated.
Busy with like
busy
things
and
for
do
yourself
things,
too.
not to just make dinner. That's another whole thing in itself. And the lunches, which I always say was my pleasure.
Yeah.
But that's a great point to bring up. That definitely is important. That for sure.
Also, I know there's a lot of discourse where people just don't think you should be dating around a lot. They think that you should just be like seeing like, one person and that's it. Like how important do you think it is to be dating like in your 20s? And that does not mean sleeping around. I think people misconstrue that a lot.
Two different things. I mean, obviously, when I was your age, when I was dating, yes, I could have gone out one night to, let's say, to dinner or drinks with one guy, and then maybe a few nights later, I went out on another date.
Hell yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that because that's dating.
Right.
What dating means is
I think people don't realize that anymore. Like that's like
it doesn't mean sleeping around.
No.
If you're dating, you're going to dinner, you're going to have a drink.
Yeah.
You're dating, you're trying to find that right
That's
one.
the point of dating.
And if you're not unless you like, oh my gosh, fell in love and like, oh my God, but you don't know. That's why you have to meet different people.
Right. Yes.
And I strongly believe in dating.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's two different things, sleeping around versus dating.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Correct. And I think it's like the best thing, not to get too TMI. Like she really instilled in me that you should never give it up as a woman. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like very easy.
Exactly.
Like there's no man that really deserves that unless like you guys are in a relationship or it's like something more. I know it sounds so small, but honestly, it's such a big thing because I think it kind of kills like an aura in you as a female to just like give that up to anybody.
Exactly.
And I think
and I was always good about that because I was like that.
Yeah. I don't think anyone deserves you fully like that until it's a serious relationship.
I always say yes. You want to have fun.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy.
Kiss is harmless.
As
Well,
long as
sometimes.
it's harmless. And I always say, just be smart.
Yeah. Yes.
Have fun,
but
be smart.
Yes.
You know, so I might
yes.
be my age, but I was her
She
age once,
knows.
so I
Yeah.
get it.
Yes.
So I understand. Believe
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And it's
I'm not.
funny.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend who I
No,
wasn't.
obviously. And it's funny.
I was a party girl back in the day.
It's funny. I do tell her like everything about every single guy that I like been talking to or dating and whatever. And it's funny to hear like her like opinion on everything. Anything else you want to add?
I think we're on the same page with that.
I think
and
that's
I'm
stuff
glad
we agree
that
on
you're
a lot.
able to come to me
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of daughters probably that maybe feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I made it comfortable
Oh, it's
enough
very
for
comfortable.
you to come to me to talk about those things.
Yes, it's a good outlet, I would say, because sometimes girls my age, they're not going to give like your best opinion or advice because there's so much, you know, like opinions now that I really don't agree with or that I'm confused with. So it's just better to hear someone older too. Anyways, there's a lot of like things going on with my generation on dating. There's ghosting, there's being nonchalant or chalant about certain ways in relationships.
That's a big thing right now.
And it's just interesting. Like, did you guys have that back then? Was ghosting a thing?
Well, first of all, we didn't have cell phones.
Well, yeah, of course.
So we had regular phones.
There's also,
the landlines.
not to interrupt, but there's love bombing. I think it's called breadcrumbing. There's like all these stupid made up like terminologies, names. And it's becoming more of like a trend. And it's becoming so like tiring to hear all these things. And people, I think, like just don't have like the guts or the security to own up to things anymore, honestly, too.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
So you just have to play things, you know, day by day, you know, if you're dating someone and just get a feel for the person. And so instead of ghosting, they just didn't call us.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of different opinions out there, but so hopefully that helped. And I know a big thing with you with the dating, I know you talk about with your generation too, like dating apps versus
God, I don't like them.
non. I mean, lucky for you, you haven't had to go on a dating app. You meet people all the time, wouldn't you say? Do you find that it's easier for you to meet guys?
I do think it's easy. Okay, so with dating apps, the reason why I don't like it is that when you meet someone out, you initially like have like some spark or some attraction to someone. With a dating app, you basically are forcing yourself to like this person because you matched on them or you had good like texting banter. When you meet someone out in like public, I think it's so romantic, it's so cute. It like you feel something more than you do just like swiping and finding someone on the app. Also, I don't like that. And I think it's so cute the way you and Rich met. I mean, it's not like a crazy story. You guys were matched up. If you want to talk about like your story and how it like turned out too.
Yeah, so like I said, I dated a lot. I had a lot of boyfriends through my 20s.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends ended up fixing me up with Rich through our brother and sister-in-law who were good friends here in Florida. We were both living in New York at the time. And we went out and they called it, I don't know if they even call it blind dates anymore. Do they?
You know, it's so funny. I was just thinking about this the other day that
now I feel that's funny.
No,
blind date.
I think that we should bring that back. Like, I don't know anyone that fixes people up anymore.
That's true.
Like, why don't we do that anymore? Like, forget the
people
apps.
Did that a lot.
If you have a really great friend and you know someone else that you think that would be good for them,
right?
Why not?
They should bring that back.
No one does that anymore.
And what's good about that, it's not like on the dating app where you have no clue who that person is.
I also just saw an article that some guy was arrested. You probably saw that.
You
just never know these guys and people, and
you don't.
It's scary.
I mean, it's great. I know a lot of people that
thankfully,
meet
right, of course,
on Hinge, and there's nothing. It's great. I mean, people have had successful.
But being young in your 20s, like I'm 22, I don't think I need to be on a dating app right now. I just got out of college.
Right.
Like, there's no need for that.
No, but I mean, the blind dates, they called it back then. So
I like that. We should bring that back.
So we met, but what was good is that I met through my best friend, and Rich met through his brother and sister-in-law. And it worked out. It worked out at first.
Yeah, then what happened?
Well, we dated for maybe a few months.
Okay.
5 months, whatever. And then I guess at that time, and I was in my late 20s, he was early 30 something. And we both weren't ready.
You're
We
also
both,
seeing, were you like talking to, or seeing?
well, I was dating other people, and I back then, Hamptons shares were very big back then, and I was so excited to do. Obviously, I was immature. I wasn't even ready for anything serious. I wanted to do a Hampton share.
Something I would do.
Again, I mean, because they're so much fun. And he wasn't ready either. He was living in the city for 10 years. I was in the city. So it like fizzled out for like a
Right.
year. And then he called me after
Guys always come back.
he came
No,
back.
I think that's a real thing, that even if it doesn't work out now, they will always.
If it's meant to be, it
Correct.
will be.
There's actually a thing
And
called,
it did.
there's a little theory, I think it's called the red string theory, that no matter what, how far apart you guys get pulled, or if it's almost about to like break, you guys will always be tied together, and it's like it's supposed to happen. It's called a red string theory, and that it might, not work for months or years, but you'll always come back to each other. And I think
If it was
that's
meant
what
to
happened.
be, it was
Yeah.
meant to be. And at the time he reached back out to me, I was not dating anyone. I sort of was,
Right.
and he was.
He won you over.
He did. I was. See, I was dating him. He knows, and I was dating someone else. And
then, you know what's so funny? He literally took her to a psychic
yes,
to kind of figure out, because she was confused on which
yes,
guy.
I was very confused. He
Like, what a
actually had
fun
me.
thing! What a fun problem to have.
He had me talk to this psychic about
Yeah.
my relationships with him and this other guy, and somehow I figured it all out, and I chose the right
And
one.
it's funny because it was like his psychic, so
It was his
obviously the psychic
psychic.
was gonna help you.
He's very
Help
into
him.
all that and the horoscopes, and he's still into all
Oh, we
those
love all that
horoscopes.
stuff too, yeah.
Did you tell them that he sends your horoscope?
Oh, every morning I get sent
we all
the
get our
newspaper.
horoscopes sent to us by.
And you know what's so funny? Every time I meet a guy, I always ask them their sign, and I always hate when a girl asks, but I think it's so interesting, the compatibility and just like the likelihood of like their personality, and just
it is interesting.
I find it very interesting. From what I've noticed is that, so I'm an Aquarius guys, and we don't get along. I need an opposite attract situation.
So which sign is the one that's good for Aquarius? You know?
I mean, obviously each person's different, but I don't love having an Aquarius sign. I've seen people that are my sign, and I don't like it. What's the most compatible?
For Aquarius.
I mean, I think it differs obviously for each person, but I honestly want someone different, because I think if we're too similar, it's just going to backfire.
Whoever's a Leo out there, I'm a Leo. It's a great sign. And Rich, my husband, is a Scorpio. Great match. If you're a Leo and know a Scorpio, it's great.
It's a great match.
It's a great match.
It's a good. I would say it's a good match.
We're good.
I agree with that. And see, I think it's so cute. Like, to tell my future kids that I met on a dating app, I know I could do better as a wife, mom.
Okay.
Woman.
But like I said, it does work
I know
for some people. And it's how
know.
everyone is going to meet in different ways. And, however you're meant to meet someone,
Correct.
that's great for them.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that actually meet like through social media. Like, I'm not opposed to that. I think, let's say like a lot of people like slide in people's DMs. That's a big thing. You know about that?
Slide into a DM.
Yes. So basically a guy will like hit up a girl and try to like, talk to them
Through their DMs
on
Instagram.
It's a very common
But
thing.
they're already following you.
Yes, they'll already be following you, and they may not have met you already, or they may have met you already, and they will go into your DMs and use like a funny thing to like get your attention, to get you to respond back. And usually the goal, obviously, out of that is to get the number, and then obviously that, and after that to get a date out of it. But a big thing for guys or girls can slide in, I think, is to come up with something like funny and catchy to get the girl's attention. And it was funny. I was listening to another podcast. Paige Lorenz. She just married Tommy Paul, a tennis player. So they just got married, and he slid in her DMs. So they didn't meet on an app, but he slid into her. No, actually, he liked her Instagram. He started following her, but didn't slide in, and she ended up sliding in, and now they're married.
Interesting.
So that's another thing. I think that's totally fine. I think it's normal, and like whatever, slide in my DMs.
Because didn't you say too, sometimes when you meet guys out, a lot of them aren't even asking for your number. They ask you for your Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, I have a few things about that. So, since I am a public figure, I don't necessarily love when a guy asks for my Instagram. Like, obviously, I have 2 Instagrams. I have one as a personal and one as like my public.
Oh, so you don't like that. You rather them ask for your number?
I think what I don't like about it is that they will have a preconceived notion of who I am.
By looking at all your posts.
Since I'm very public and I post funny, weird videos.
Right.
So I don't want them coming into the date or a situation where they know or they think they know who I am. I rather kind of like, like lead them on a path where they can get to know me better. So I don't love that. And I also think it's a little immature if we're asking for Instagram. Also, the other thing is if you ask for my number, I could easily avoid you. If you ask for my Instagram and you see me posting and doing other things, you know I'm on my phone and avoiding you. So I don't mind the number. I think people get a little too serious. Oh, you can't ask for a girl's number. That's too personal. I don't care. I'll give my number out more than my Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting because that's another option for a lot of guys. Is it almost like an easy way out?
Not an easy way out. Like, what do you mean? Like to ask
for your instead of asking for your number, is it like too personal to ask for your number?
That's what guys think, but I don't mind the number. Like, I could easily ignore you. It's like, I think it's less invasive.
You think it's less invasive, your phone number?
Yeah, because you can't see what I'm doing in my posts.
Right.
Versus if you have my number, you don't know what I'm doing.
And now today with social media, like you sort of can't hide.
No.
Like it's very different from when I was your age. Like we can hide. We didn't have social media. Like you could look people up. Like if you're meeting someone the first time, you look them up on LinkedIn. You look
where they work and
everything. Like you kind of like have these preconceived notions about them.
Yeah.
Which is it's great social media. That's another whole topic in itself, which we can go into another time about social media.
Right. I agree with that.
I mean, there's a lot of different topics and a lot of things we could discuss, and that's why we want people to also send us comments like what topics they're interested in. Is it something, more people in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? I'm in the 50s, even women older than me. Like, is something that we could talk about that we don't mind discussing, and we'd be happy to discuss it, here.
I agree too.
And we just love to talk and we love to chat, and we definitely, have our opinions. So was there anything that we wanted to cover today?
Has it been 50 minutes already?
Yes.
Okay. A little segment of like love it or leave it.
Oh, right. We want to include that when we do these podcasts.
What's going on in the world right now that is trending and that we either like it or we don't like it. So we're going to call it love it or leave it. So we talked about dating apps. So overall, love it or leave it.
Is there an in-between?
No. She's a little biased.
If I was your age, I would say leave it. I tried matcha a while ago and I hated it.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I know it's such a trend.
Yeah. All right. Protein obsessions. Like everything's protein this, protein that, snacks.
I know it's important, protein.
But not in your snacks. Like you don't need a high protein.
No, but
popcorn.
I know we need our protein. And I have to be honest, I'm not the biggest protein eater. I try to.
Right.
I don't. I know it's important. So I'm going to say love it because I should eat more protein.
Everything is protein obsessed in the fact of like snacks now.
No, I don't think you have to have a snack as a protein. Or
like have
I know
real food.
I do know some people in our family that says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get my protein today."
No, but that's like real food that we're not talking about.
Oh, you're talking about a protein bar
or like protein snacks.
Well, I do like my protein bars,
but you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying like everything is like protein matcha, protein popcorn.
Oh, I see. Like everything is protein pancakes, protein this, protein chips.
Yeah,
no, that's
like,
that's a little ridiculous. I'd leave it. Leave that. I'm not. Okay. That's ridiculous. You should have real protein, real meats.
Good. Okay. Yes. Next, sauna and cold plunging.
Not a fan. I know it's so healthy, the sauna. I know there's a lot of benefits. I'm personally not a fan of it. I know you are.
I like the sauna.
I know you're big in it. And I just, for my age group, for the sauna, especially the cold plunge, I would say leave it.
I don't like the cold plunging either.
Leave it.
Okay. The walking pad. You probably have seen videos where
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah,
I did my research about this walking pad.
Okay. What do you think of that?
I think it's ridiculous and so silly. I'll leave it. Just walk on the pavement.
And what do you think about like 10,000 steps? Like when you were growing up,
started with that.
Do you think anyone ever said, "Oh, you need to hit your 10,000
What about
steps?
Rich?
My dad is obsessed with getting it.
I gotta get out. I gotta finish up my steps. He is obsessed.
I'll be honest. I've walked 20,000 steps a day, and I've gained weight the next day.
I actually that is a pet peeve when every minute everyone has to get their steps. If they don't get their steps,
kind of, like weird.
I mean, come on. Before we could track our steps, we were getting steps. You need to know the number.
No, I know.
It's ridiculous.
And all the metrics people track their health.
It's important to walk. It's important to get your steps in. But forget how many.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Just get your steps and walk.
I agree.
Forget counting.
It's weird. And everyone's also obsessed with like like their watch. Like my sleep score, my this.
I
And
never wanted an iPhone watch. I have my
we have a
beautiful watch,
regular
a regular
watch.
watch.
Yeah.
I
We
am
also
not into the iPhone.
another thing like that we
the
have
Apple
similar.
Watch.
We are very like old school in the sense of like traditional things like that. Like obviously we're into materialistic things, but
Yes,
we
of
like to keep it
course.
classy and yeah.
classy.
So get a nice watch. If I see a
Yes.
guy out and he's wearing an Apple Watch,
but two of our family members wear them.
I don't love it though. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I never got it. I never wanted to. I already have my phone. What do I need to look at everything
one?
on my wrist?
Yeah.
The other thing is AirPods.
Oh my God, no.
Was that on our Love It and Leave It?
I didn't, but I do wear headphones at the gym, but that's different. But if you always have AirPods in, like, come on.
Not good.
No, it's bad.
It's been a lot of studies that
it's not good.
AirPods are not good to have in your ears.
No.
I use the old-fashioned wired.
We're team wired. Over here.
Wired all the way. Yes.
Okay. What are your thoughts on like influencer culture? And I know I'm like an influencer, but like what are
Pros
your
and
thoughts?
cons, because there's so many influencers all over social media. Use this product, do this on your skin, do this, eat this. They're not doctors. They don't really know. So you have to really do your own homework and your own research.
Just because Alex Earl's doing doesn't mean you should
doesn't mean it's right. So if you do see someone showing a product, and I know you do, but I know you, and you do your research, and you do your homework, and you would never promote something that you didn't believe in.
No.
These influencers could be getting paid to promote the products.
Yes.
So you have to really do your own research and your own homework, and don't just take something or use something just because another woman or man is using it. So I think leave it. Just be careful, really.
Yeah. Okay. So far we have a lot of leave it's.
I guess I don't love anything yet.
Okay. Next, the get ready with me videos that influencers do. I know I don't like them either. I don't think maybe I did it once, but it's so not me to do a get ready with me video.
It's so been there, done that.
It's so bad. Like, come on.
I know I never did that. You never.
I never really got into it.
So overused. Get ready with me. And then the best is the influencers with their food
the
or
ASMR.
It just everything.
So overall, she's not a fan of influencers.
You know what it is when you see it once and then you keep seeing it. Get ready with me and showing your food and going like this. It's a little much. Just be a little bit original.
We need some originality out here.
Originality. Stop copying. It just takes the good out of it.
Yes.
So
and then what about AI? What are your thoughts on that?
I use chat every day.
I mean,
Chat and we're buddies. When no one's around, I actually ask a lot of different things to chat every day. Chat.
Actually, I'll be honest.
Anyone wants to know.
I'll be honest. Sometimes I will use it to like respond back to like a text if I don't know what to say, and I kind of want like a non-biased opinion on something. I do use it for that, but I don't really want to rely on it. I think it's not good.
Yeah, I think I use it. Let's say I'm not so dependent on it, but if there's some things that I'm like torn about, obviously it's all my words I'm putting in and all my thoughts. And it's sometimes
she takes her phone and she'll literally like voice text, hey, so today, blah, blah, blah. And I was wondering if you could help me with this. Like,
no, so there's sometimes when I'm stuck that I just need a little help. And sometimes the advice is great and sometimes it's not. So I
love
am
it.
For it in that way. But I do think that we should not get lost
in our own thoughts.
We still need our own thoughts
and talking to people.
Touch.
Yeah,
I think that with the whole AI thing with the robots and companies, there is a place in companies. I agree. A lot of companies are using AI. It's important for data and moving things along faster in that respect.
Okay.
So I think in that respect, it's important. I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Both.
And then I'll do last one, love it or leave it, Ozempic and weight loss and skinny culture. What are your thoughts on that?
So I'll just be honest, I've never taken any of those. We've never had the shots. Luckily, I never had to, but I shouldn't say I know a lot of people. I'm not saying it's bad. If you need to do it and
I think if there's a need and you are very unhealthy, take it.
Yes. If you've tried every type of diet and you've tried things to lose weight and nothing is, and if you have underlying condition and it's not healthy, then yes, then I agree with it. There's a time and a place for it. But if you're already thin and just want to lose those last few pounds. I don't
No.
know if I agree with that, to be honest. Just, only if you really, really, truly need it.
Yeah.
Then I do agree
And
with
then
it.
what are your thoughts? Because like my generation and all girls my age are obsessed with being like skinny and weight loss. Like I know like we can get caught up too. And I know
We
your
do.
generation was
Yes,
into that
my
too.
generation
So what
is
do you think about
very,
that? It's not like a love it or leave it. Just like what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, look, some women are and men are happy in the way they are. And if you are, then that's great. I think you can get very obsessed if you are looking at the scale every day. And I have to confess, I know I do a lot every day. But I think what's happening is too, it's those influencers that are making social media. The key is, you want to be healthy.
Right.
Skinny is not
Skin
the
and
answer.
bones is not it.
And being very, very overweight too may not always be the answer. If you're happy and healthy in it,
and you have
then that's
your
great.
hormones set and you have your
You
period.
just have to make sure medically you're okay with it.
Yeah.
But I'd say there has to be a happy medium. I think even there are people that are super skinny but could be the most unhealthy. And look horrible.
Or opposite, they could be a little overweight
but
and
be healthy and fine.
Correct.
So I think that I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Is there something in the middle?
Besides that, I just think it's always funny. I will only trust her opinion if I ever feel like I need to get like a body check. I'm always asking her. Like I need to know, like obviously if I'm gaining weight, if I look too skinny, if I blah blah blah. No one else on the planet besides your mom is like that person to tell you.
But I was never.
No, but you were never like, oh, you need to lose weight.
I would never. That's one thing you have to say about me.
I was self-aware. I knew if I did.
If she had gained some weight, let's say, which she knows she had in the past, I was never that type of mom that would say, "Oh my God,
I know
Britt,
moms that do.
You've gained so much weight. I've never done that.
No.
If she had to lose weight, she figured it out.
I think I knew. I always knew.
You knew.
I always knew. I was very self-conscious and self-aware.
You knew. I never was that type of mom that said, "Oh God, Britt, look at you." Like I have to be honest, my mom, she would tell me,
"Yeah, I know.
You look like you put on some weight." She would tell me. She would tell me but she also tells me, like she told me that day, "Oh, you look great. You lost weight.
All right,
you look thin." Like she'll just come right out and say,
she's very she's very blunt.
Oh yeah,
very honest.
But I wouldn't do that to you. Like only if you asked me.
I think I would ask, but I think I would know also.
But you did tell me one time, a long time ago, if you are going to say anything to me and give me your opinion, ask me if I can give you my opinion first.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
because there were times where I might have given my opinion without you asking me. Not about weight,
right?
Just
general,
other things.
Yeah, I want to, but then sometimes I might not know to ask.
But you you did tell me once you want me to ask you if it's okay. So now when I want to tell her something, I say to you, Britt, can I give you my opinion?
Right, and usually you do, whatever.
Right.
But I also think it was so funny. Like I grew my glutes like so big, and she hated my glutes big. Like it was big. But the thing is, like, it's hard to get that. It was muscle. Most of it was muscle.
But that's when having a big butt was like it.
I think it's not it anymore.
It was. It's like if you had a big butt, now. It was a trend.
I think, let's say for love it or leave it, having a big butt it's done.
It's done.
I think it's chic.
You don't want to have, like my age group is getting to have flat butts.
Well,
you don't want to have a flat.
Like, it's very feminine and chic.
We got to keep doing the squats.
Yeah.
I have to
have a butt, squats. Have it muscular, but don't have it too big overall.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think we'll have to save some things for another time.
Yeah.
And how do we want to leave on this note, Britt? You want to say our final words?
So going forward, I think we'll just touch upon just opinions that we have going on in the world, what we want to talk about ourselves and our daily lives, any situations happening, and just kind of, grow as a person with the podcast. Like, obviously, this is brand new. We don't know how this will be. It's also trial and error. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And just, practice makes perfect too.
And could I just say, we want to bring you into our lives, into our family.
And just have a very comfortable conversation.
Another time we could talk about our favorite products, our favorites. You have tons of favorite skincare and hair products. I do.
Makeup
our routines, our beauty routines. And we love to share all that.
We just want to have like a podcast where there's nothing like negative.
Just positive things.
Just funny things. I think we need more of that in the world.
Yes.
A lot of people
fun.
very serious. Like, I just think, like, we are always talking. Like, why not just show up people more?
And maybe eventually we may invite our
Guests and stuff,
family
yeah.
on, other parts of our family and friends
Yeah.
and guests. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think this was great.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. This was great.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay.